Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's a new month, and we've got a new Blindbox Comics in our hands. Now, Blindbox, one of the numerous geeky services out there that delivers a box of goodies to your doorstep. This one is comic books. What a shock with that name. So it's been a few months since we started getting Blindbox Comics. We actually kick-started when they went up there to help out the service. And since then, I haven't been disappointed. Now, Blindbox Comics is a little bit different than everyone else. The reason being that there is basically two services that they have. We've got the Blind Variance and the Blindbox Comics, where they actually deliver a bunch of comics. Now, the comics, there's usually like 5 comics, maybe sometimes 6, and the variant is exactly what it says, a variant. You can go get this, you can get this, you can get this together. It all varies, so you can kind of put together what you like and how you want to get it. So let's crack open the comics for the month and show off what's inside. They do provide this nice handy cheat sheet for folks so they can check things out. Now, there's already some really interesting comics. First up, we've got New Superman from DC Comics as part of DC Rebirth. Loon Yang is the writer of it, and Victor Bogdanovic, if I pronounce that right, is the artist. Now, I actually have to... I think this is like the first DC comic they've had in the Blindbox Comics so far, so to see DC Comics is pretty awesome. That's one of the gaps that kind of needed to be filled. Now, this is a very interesting comic. Basically, it is a Chinese riff off of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and so on and so forth. The first issue, I swore that it was a commentary about copyright and Chinese knockoff of products. There's actually a proper term of that. The second issue had me a little bit more confused as to what Gene is actually saying in his comic. But no matter what, it's entertaining, it's interesting, there's a whole bunch of new characters, and it's a great pick for the month. Next, we've got Horizon number 1. Horizon number 1 is a solid new comic series from Image Comics. Basically, it is aliens come to Earth to kind of retaliate for Earth invading their world is the best way to describe it. So instead of an invasion, it's actually more of a retaliation, which is a different spin on things that we normally see. I like the first issue. Second issue is actually out this week, so if you're getting this, you should go and absolutely check out the second issue. Next, the Paybacks. Oh my god, do I love this series. First, it was published by Dark Horse. Now it is picked up by Heavy Metal. It is one of my favorite miniseries of last year, and so far it's already kicking up and being one of my favorite series of this year. The second issue, I believe, is out this week or next week. Really, really soon, maybe next week. You should absolutely check it out. Best way I can describe it is a repo squad for superheroes. So basically, how do superheroes pay for all those cool gadgets? They basically take out a huge loan from these folks, and then when they can't pay back, the paybacks go and grab the items. So imagine Batman getting repossessed and them taking all the cool items and then having him forced to work for them to pay off his debt. So really, really cool concept. Actually, a great concept. The series is amazing. The characters are really creative. They riff off of a lot of course, famous characters that you would know. Highly recommend it. I'm sure you're not reading it. This is so far out of everything in here and what I see in my hand, the highest praise I can give to all the books in there. This is an absolutely amazing series, and I fully expect it to be on a lot of best of lists. Alright, next we'll go with this one, Captain Kidd by Aftershock Comics. One thing I really like about Blindbox Comics is, you know, as you've seen, we've seen something from DC, Image, from Heavy Metal Magazine, and now Aftershock. They do go with a lot of lesser-known publishers like Aftershock, and, well, Heavy Metal, you know, the magazine, but did you know they make comics as well? So Captain Kidd is basically like a 4-year-old guy. He's stuck, or he can transfer into this teenage superhero. So, you know, this guy goes and has, you know, bad knees and bad back and whatever, and then he transfers and becomes a teenage superhero and doesn't have any of those problems. It's definitely middle-aged comic writer fantasy in comic books. I'm going to outright say it. It's written by Mark Waid. I really liked it. It was a solid first issue. It was Mark Waid, Tom Pyre, and Wilfredo Torres. I did enjoy the first issue. I kind of made a little crack about it, but it's an entertaining comic. We'll see where it goes from there. I mean, Mark Waid does fantastic superhero series, so I can't knock it too much, but definitely go and check this one out. All right, finally we got Black Hammer. This is from Dark Horse Comics. It's Jeff Lemire. Really, really solid series. This is interesting because they actually are showing off a comic that I don't have in mind, so I'm a little confused on this. Jeff Lemire, great series. It's Heroes Never Die. They just get retconned. Basically, these superheroes went and kind of retired onto a farm. It's really kind of hard to describe, but it's Jeff Lemire doing comics, so it's pretty awesome. I mean, Jeff Lemire friggin' rocks, so you should go and really check it out. It's a great superhero comic, just like Paybacks kind of takes on a lot of the tropes that are out there and a lot of the other characters out there, so I really, really recommend that. Okay, so you get 5 of the 6 comics. The one that is not in my pile of here, so I got those 5. The one that's not in my pile is Betty and Veronica #1. Yeah, it's Archie Comics, Betty and Veronica. Archie's been kind of rocking out with their reboots of their infamous characters. It's nothing else like I say, Adam Hughes doing Betty and Veronica. Done and done. So let's go to the variant. The variants are really, really cool. It's a great idea. This month's variant is Animosity #1 from Aftershock comic. The story is animals kind of get sentience and start talking and decide to rise up against humans. There's some great humor in it. It's kind of a good horror comic. It's a concept I think we've seen before, but it's done really, really well. Let's see here. It's the writer is Margaret Bennett, and then Rafael de la Torre are the creator. So the blind variant, there's a bunch of different versions. There's a full color edition of 150, a black and white edition of 100, and a embossed series of 20, and it's randomly filled. So not just that there is a variant in this, you actually can get variants of the variants. There's also a bonus that he was able to contribute several signed copies of his personal sketchbook, which have been randomly distributed in this month's boxes. Obviously, I didn't get a sketch, but I got a sketch last month, so I can't complain too much. So the question is, which variant did we get? And it looks like we've got the black and white variant, which is pretty sweet. You can check it out. So the black and white variant we had was 100. So there is a whopping 100 of these out in the world. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. Can't really complain too much. I think it's a really cool thing they do with their series and the variants. It's not just, you get the variant and that's it. They have got variants of the variants. So sometimes things differ a bit. They do sketches. They do different amounts. Sometimes it's just like a straight up, everyone gets the same variants. But you can see here, there is a very limited number of that, which is really cool. As a comic book fan, I look for that in sort of boxes. Overall, I'm actually really, really impressed with the various comics that are in here. Getting the random comics it's neat. It's a nice spin on what they've been doing. I think there's some great comics in there. The fact that, Paybacks was in here, Captain Kidd's in here, Black Hammer was a favorite. Paybacks absolutely is the best of the bunch. I can't praise that one enough, so you should definitely go and check that out. If you get this Blindbox Comics, I think you're going to be very happy. All these comics I recommend, I've read, I think, every single one. Yes, I've read every single one of these. And actually, there's not one I wouldn't recommend out of the bunch, and I would highly recommend most of these. I think they were just really, really that solid. So it's a great box this month. Really cool variants. A lot of superhero books, but some variants on the superhero theme, so you can see that it's not just spandex beating the crap out of bad guys. There is some diversity, even in the superhero genre. So that's Blindbox Comics for this month. You can go check them out at blindboxcomics.com, I believe is their address. We've got a link beneath this video. It is not an affiliate link. We get nothing for it. I just love this series, this service, and of course we'll be getting it every single month as long as they keep going. So I can't recommend it enough. I'm just really impressed by it. You can catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, if you care about comics, you should go check out our site. We got tons of comic news, interviews, reviews, previews, commentary, lots of cool stuff. Original posts every single day. You should go check it out. Of course, you can also catch us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that graphic policy, keeping it nice and consistent. As always, thank you for watching. By doing so, you help support our site. And until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky.